Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 105, and it's an all-English affair yet again. Chelsea are opponents today in the Club World Cup quarter-final, and we'll be hoping, if all goes well, we'll have a semi-final to show too. However, we are back 4 days before the Chelsea game, which can mean only one thing. So we're going to have a look at what else is going on off the pitch at the moment that may affect our career over the next few months. But if you're looking forward to this episode, seeing if we can edge closer to becoming world champions, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. I can only say, if you didn't see yesterday's Hemel Hempstead episode, where on earth have you been? It's up in the eye above if you missed it. A spectacularly important moment in that save. You can also find links up in the eye above to the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and the new merchandise store. Only a few days left of the discount till the 7th of May. Load FM5 at checkout for 5% off everything. And of course, you can also support the show as a channel member down below if you wish, by clicking the join button. But thank you as always for your incredible support, as we are back 4 days prior to the Chelsea game in the Club World Cup quarter-final. And that is because if we go to the job centre, the job we've applied for might be edging a little bit closer. We have got an interview with Real Madrid. Of course, nowhere near the summit in Spanish football at the moment. It would be a bit of a rebuilding job, but let's attend the interview. We need one more job in this save, and I want to know if this one is going to be the one. So let's get through to the interview process. Let's get down to business. Am I worried about not being able to speak the language? Football is a universal language. I can get my message across. Have some reservations about the fact you never managed in the country. But I've been all the way to Wales. What are you worried about? The fact I have various experiences in other countries should stand up for that. Yep, completely agree. I'm ready to settle down and build a legacy, as we've done at our last 2 clubs. We've been at United 3 years. We were at Palace 2.5. Kefren Druids 3. Dover 2. I feel like we get a bit of a bad rap about being a sort of journeyman. We've stuck with clubs a little bit this year. We've done highly impressive work. What do we want to do? I want to take that momentum and build it here. You've developed a reputation for applying for other jobs. Genuinely, haven't applied for a job since I joined United. 3 years. This is the first one I've applied for. Don't understand. I'll make the promise, but it's ridiculous. Am I happy to work with Marina, the director of football? Is that the one from Chelsea? It is. 15 ability, 17 potential. Absolutely fine. We need a good director of football. As part of the process, do you want to change staff? Absolutely not. That's all up to you. The preference is to sign players under 23, so going to be a bit of a regeneration at Madrid, although they had that at Palace and they kept signing 35-year-olds. Their only objective in the league is to reach the European Cup, which shows you how far they've fallen. Then they want to be best of the rest, then they want to challenge for the title. So Real Madrid themselves are seeing it as a 4-year project to get back to the top above Barcelona. I'd like to make it a bit quicker, but I would certainly like the opportunity. So it's an exciting vision, let's go for it. I of course believe we can reach the Champions Cup. Transfer budget of 30 million. Wow, this is a club that is falling financially as well. I'm going to say that's okay, but we looked at the squad briefly in the last episode. It's not a great one, and there's a lot of older heads in there. So it is sort of the same issue as Palace. They want a young squad, but they haven't got the money to develop it. A wage budget that's the same. What? The wage budget can't be the same as the transfer budget. Is that per week 31 million? Please tell me it's not. I mean, I'll agree it for now because I don't want to rock the boat, but that is madness. No request to propose. That covers everything. Let's see if we get the job. But wow. I've got to go and see what wage some of these players are on after this because that sounds absolutely ludicrous. I mean, it's big, but that can't be 31 million, can it? Oh, I didn't realise. I forgot. Arian Kalantari's there. Oh, please let me get it. He's not good enough to dominate world football, but I want to manage that guy again. Hero at Bristol City so many seasons ago. He was the one that let us take that step to becoming a Premier League manager. He's one of the heroes of the saves. Please let me be reunited with him. Well, we're back for fitness test time ahead of the Chelsea game, but I just want to show you what sort of job we'd be taking on if we go to Real Madrid. They are the only European side who haven't got through their group in the Club World Cup. They're the only European side who haven't got 6 points. You can see PSG, City, Chelsea, United, Bayern, Juventus, Milan, all there, and then Real Madrid are failed in second. That tells you the job that we'll have in hand. But for now, we want to focus on getting one over on Philip Jalocka, who I still don't really understand why he left us to go to Chelsea, unless he thinks it's more money, it's a better opportunity in the future, and he might be right when Mbappe leaves in a few days' time. But for now, we're coming up against a very good team. He is not starting according to the expected lineup, but the likes of Kulusevski and Mason Mount will be. Let's make our changes. We didn't have anyone fit for the last game. Please don't let it be this bad this time. It's even worse. I don't know what to do anymore. I've rested people. I've stopped them training. And they're not getting any fitter. How on earth are we supposed to win this game? Can we see the fitness of the Chelsea players and see if it's any different? Right, theirs is basically the same. They've got a few that are a bit fitter than us. Although some of them are unavailable, and most of them are goalkeepers actually. So bar having 6 or 7 who are slightly fitter, Johnny, another one of our former midfielders, being one of them, no one's fit. I do not understand it. So again, I'm probably going to have to pick the fittest side rather than the best side. And even the fittest side now is much of a muchness. Where it's level, we'll go for backups. I think this could be the end of the run. What a stupid tournament and at a stupid time. Right, while we're here, I'm going to do it again just so you can see. I'm going to rest everyone from training for 3 days. And we're going to hope that we get a result if we do get through. For now though, there are probably only a couple of positives. One of them, Fournier's fit in goal. Pivati is the fittest at left back. Rashford's on the left wing today and Mbappe's up front. He's only fit for 2 games and isn't here if we get to the final. So we might as well make use of him now, mightn't we? Benjamin has signed a new 3-year deal. He'll be at the back. And the rest of it, I've just gone for a backup team because I don't want to harm the first 11 for the season. Magno Luiz, though, was not fit enough to make it. What that means is our squad for today is Fournier in goal. Lovic, Benjamin, Bordanelli and Pavati, a very tired back 4. Emre and Agumbi, the midfield 2. Rashford and Thompson on the wings, with Jadon Sancho again behind Mbappe. But this is absolute carnage. 2 unfit teams coming head to head. Which one comes out on top? Your guess is as good as mine. Well, 7 changes for Chelsea. I mean, we've both got the same struggles in fairness. Jalocka's on the bench for them but not fit. We've got 11 subs, including Casal, who's already in the condition we would take him off in normally. It's going to be a battle of the fittest. They've got a couple that are in better condition than us, but I don't think it will make much of a difference later on. For us, it's about having a good start, being aggressive, taking chances. It's going to be a very low tempo game by the second period. As we're 2 minutes gone, we've got a throw on the right with Mickey Lovic, up to Russell Thompson. Plays to Lovic again. He goes back to Xavier Benjamin, and he's up to Emre Uzun and Agumbi. Time in possession, but goes all the way back to his keeper, Fournier. He finds Xavier Benjamin again. It's good football, and if we can keep Chelsea chasing, it will help us. As Thompson gets in behind down the right, 2 or 3 in the middle. Sancho's one, and Mbappe slides in from the deflection, and he's saved by Batata in goal. That is a shame. If we can get an early one, it would make a big difference to the rest of this match. As Benjamin heads away, as far as Thompson. Out to Rashford on the left, who's fairly fit. Mbappe gets on the end of that, though. And that is slow, sluggish defending. You expect it, though, in the circumstance. Mbappe had the last game off. He's only got 2 more games for the club. And he's taken advantage there with an early goal. We need it. We need to get on top. And if we can, by somehow get 3 or 4 up again, we will just go to that passing game and try and rest people. And you bear in mind, for 70 minutes in the last match, we were playing tiki-taka. We were barely moving. The average kilometres covered per game was down about 2 to the average match. So I'm not sure what more we could have done here. As Makoko on the edge finds Kulusevski into Hudson-Odoi. It's a great save, Fournier. And it'll be a corner kick. I thought he might have been offside. But the best keeper in the world is to the rescue. As James down the right, over halfway. No one can catch him. He must be one of the fitter ones. Wide to Kulusevski. Down the line to Lusau. Into the box he goes. Another good save, Fournier. Him coming back in might be the difference today. Because 11 minutes gone, we've seen nearly all of it. And there's chances galore at both ends. 2 defences out on their feet. And so far it's shown. But we've scored the goal. As with 18 minutes gone, we've got a free kick just inside the Chelsea half. It's chipped forward towards Rashford and Bastoni wins it back. Headed clear by Benjamin to Thompson. Chilwell flies into a tackle but wins it. And it falls for Emre. He goes back to Benjamin, fresh with his new deal on 100 grand a week. Out to Thompson on the right, delivers to the back post, and Mbappe can't get there. It's headed away. Pavati keeps it in though. He's fresh legs by comparison to most of the team. And he finds Sancho. Starts well, gives it to Emre. Mbappe turns. He might have been just off, but if not, what a finish and what a way to go out with the club. The fitness is diabolical across the board, but the goal stands. We're 2-0 up. And if we can get one more, we'll go and keep possession. There is nothing more that's needed. But Russell Thompson has pulled his hamstring. And that is not what we want to see in the first half. We'll bring on Magno Luis because he's a backup anyway. But there's going to be more casualties as this tournament goes on. You can tell already. Chilwell's got a throw for Chelsea on the left. Hudson-Odoi to Lascelles. Through ball is intercepted and Agumbi finds Bordenelli. His clearance is poor though. Straight to Chilwell. Gives it to Bastoni. Into midfield. They're not going anywhere with it, Chelsea, at the moment. But they have got time in possession. As it chipped forward to Makoko. I mean, I hope that's offside because the goalkeeping's diabolical. And I've praised Fournier so far. He's made some good saves. But that is utterly ridiculous. Please get the flag up. They have. Goal disallowed. We're back with just over 10 to go to half time as Mickey Lovic has got it at right back. Gives it to Magno Luis the sub, but he's not fresh at all, so I can't say anything for him there. He loses possession. It's through to Moussa for Chelsea. Into the box he goes. Good save, Fournier. Pavati gets there first. I might have to make the tactical tweaks. I'm going to give it to half time. If it's still 2, we're going tiki-taka. Well, it has stayed 2-0. I'm tempted to make a sub. The most tired of the lot is Asher Gumby. I'm going to give Hannibal a run out in centre midfield. Emre Uzun will drop to centre mid. Hannibal, relatively fresh legs, can be a box-to-box. Now we'll tweak the tactic, try and keep the ball, save the legs, get into the second half. Well, we've reached the hour mark, and I know it's a risk not pressing at all against this Chelsea side, but they're out on their feet almost as much as us. As we come back on the right with Lovic, finds Pavati. I wouldn't mind someone just rifling one in the corner here. Pavati cuts back, it's a good block, Kulusevski. Finds Rashford though to Hannibal. Shots blocked to Rashford. 3-0, that should be game over. The season's ticked over now, so everyone's back to first goal of the year. And it's Lovic or Sancho who will be the final sub. I'll decide who in a moment, and we'll get into the last 25. Well, just over 20 to go. Rashford has gone in as the number 10. Sancho has been replaced by Vandenberg on the left. Bit more of a defensive outlook for him, as Jaloka, our former player, is on. The £100 million man. Moussa goes to Chilwell, to Hudson-Odoi. Here comes his first goal for Chelsea, no doubt. Chilwell, cross the box, Jaloka's there, here it is, no, he's unselfish, and he shouldn't have been, because Kulusevski has made a hash of it, 6 yards out, acres of space, puts it straight into the arms of Fournier, and we will have a semi-final in this episode, there's a positive, as Rashford finds Luis to Lovic, here's Hannibal, to the edge of the box, Magno Luis outside of the foot, just wide of the post, 15 left, it stays 3, this is a really low quality game now. As we've got a goal kick with Fournier. It'll be very short out from the back here. Benjamin and Hannibal finds Mickey Lovic. He charges down the line, no pressure on him. I say charges, more waddles down the line at this point. Everyone must have cramp in this team. As Jaloka finds Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side. Back to Moussa, Chilwell's overlapping. Hudson-Odoi beats Lovic, he's getting nowhere near it. And it's back to Chilwell again, into Kulusevski. And there's the goal. Don't let it happen now. I'm just going to encourage the lads. Try and keep them on side. We've got 7 minutes to cling on. And we're back with a throw on the left almost immediately. 4.5 minutes plus stoppages. Pavati finds Rashford. Inside to Emre. To Hannibal. Let us get a goal. Rashford from distance. What a finish that is into the top corner. The man is on fire. He was the freshest at the start. He's not now. But he's still got the golden right boot. That's all that matters. Chelsea have actually had more shots on target. But we're going to win this 4-1. Into the Club World Cup semi-final we go. God knows who's going to be fit in 4 days' time. And who knows who we're going to be facing. We'll be back in a moment to find out and see what 11 we can string together. We have a job offer between the 2 games. And this might be a slight pain timing-wise because the Club World Cup final is next Sunday. Which means I might have to try and delay it twice to get the job. And I've not often had success doing that in the past. If it had been 1 day later, we would have been alright. But Real Madrid have come in. It's a slight pay cut from 150 grand a week to 110 grand a week. It's a big transfer budget. The wage budget's only 6 million, so it must have been a glitch on the interview screen. We've got a 4-year challenge there. I'm sure it won't take quite that long, but it's going to be an interesting one. The Ariane Kalantari reunion is near. We're going to delay it for a week, hope they're okay with that, and win the Club World Cup, fingers crossed we can, before we move on to Real Madrid. They've agreed to the delay, so we've got 7 days left at Manchester United, and in the meantime, we will be repeating the Champions League final. PSG will be our opponents in 3 days. I'm hoping we'll have a few players a bit fitter, and fingers crossed we can get out on top again, because PSG were the better side in that game. Well, big Manchester United news as we head to the semi-final against PSG, and you might be able to see it. Kylian Mbappe, with 1 day to go on his contract, or 2 days technically at the time of signing, has signed a 1-year deal with John Murtough, a 50 grand a week pay rise at the age of 34, and he will be a star player for the next year at the club. It will benefit us for our last week here though, and probably benefit them after we leave too. Let's go and get into the fixtures though. It's PSG for us in the semi-final. Bayern versus Milan as we get to an all-European affair. Milan won the Champions League last season before us, and Bayern, of course, the best side in Europe on paper. So either way, this isn't a given that we're going to win it. Let's see what the fitness is like though. It's better. Is that just because the season's ticked over now? I don't know. We're going to try and get in those with the lightest match load. We should be able to go strong. We've actually got 4 days off before the final. So back in a moment to run through the 11. Well, remarkably, I think we're only 3 players away from full strength. Bordinelli will come in for Pavati at left back from our usual first 11. He's got a heavy match load. And actually it's only 2 because I was going to be tempted in goal by Fournier and Van der Voort, but I'm going to stick with the number 1. And then on the left wing, Magno Luiz has the lowest injury load compared to all the others. So the fact that he's not got a risk of getting injured is the reason he starts today. What that means is we got Fournier between the sticks, Bordinelli and Guy are the fullbacks with Bassone and Inacio at centre-half. First start for Bassone since November 2032. We've got Amponza and Hannibal in the middle, Yakubu and Magno Luiz on the wings, and then Selly and Boya, now the superstar, behind the now staying Kylian Mbappe up front. PSG v United, it's going to be a big one. A repeat of the Champions League final from a few episodes ago. Who's going to come out on top? And are we going to reach another big final? Let's go and find out. Well, it's a strong side for PSG. Pochettino still in charge. Loads of experience still in there. And Barella and Fofana coming up against their former club. Let's go and give the fans their money's worth. Let's get into the first half. I'm hoping we'll see a very different performance here. And actually, there is big news because we've got a physical advantage. They're nowhere near as fit as us. Everyone's slightly off conditioning as Abilia puts the ball back into the box there. And Yakubu heads just over. 6 minutes gone. First chance United. Though PSG on the stats have had the only shot on target. As we're back in the 14th minute with Donnarumma hoofing a big ball downfield to nowhere. But Sony will pick it up. Great to see him back as Boya finds Yakubu and Gaia. Big switch to Magno Luiz. Doesn't often play. But he's turned up with the heroics in the big games. What a man. We're checking VAR. I'm pretty sure this will stand. I saw nothing wrong with it. And the goal is awarded. 1-0 United, quarter of an hour gone. And just like the Champions League final, PSG getting put to the sword. As Mbappe puts a free kick in, good save Donnarumma. Yakubu back in, really causing a threat. This time it was on the floor though, although he didn't take the chance. He wins the header from the corner too, that one well over the bar. And PSG are surviving at 1-0, despite being completely outplayed. And you can look there at the difference in fitness. We have got a big advantage in this one. As on the left-hand side, PSG have got an attacking free kick. Barrea will take it. Big in-swinger. Great header Musiala off the post. Second one blocked to Lauro. And the third one is saved by Fournier. Brilliant goalkeeping. I'm not sure about that rollout though. It's a long ball forward. Mendes intercepts. And we survive the first big scare of the match. As we're just over 5 minutes to half-time, we're back with Selly and Boya, who's putting a delicious ball through to Yakubu. Back to the edge of the box. Barrea wins the challenge. But it's Yakubu again. He's got 2 down the right. Instead goes back to Selly and Boya. Back to Amponza. Lovely ball to Magno Luiz. He couldn't do it again, could he? No, he's forced wide. Goes back to Bordinelli. Across to Yakubu for 2, though. That was very close for offside. But if it's in, it's a goal and an assist for Magno Luiz. And that would be one hell of an effort from the usual backup player. Let's see what happens with VAR. The goal is disallowed. It looked close. I can't really complain. And at half-time, we've had less possession, less shots, less expected goals as well. But Magno Luiz is the difference. One of 2 men who's not usually in this first 11. But he's had one hell of an impact today. You've got to give him that. As we're back with just over 5 minutes gone in the second half, playing in our left back area with Bordenelli and Hannibal. He finds Inacio, Bordenelli again, and it's out to Magno Luiz. Not really pressing forward at the moment. PSG going high up the pitch to stop us as Bordenelli gives it to Luiz. Back again to the fullback. No urgency to get forward. Bordenelli finds Luiz for the umpteenth time. Goes back again. Why do we need to see that? Show us the highlight from here. Boy has been released down the left. He changes the tempo. Finds Luiz, who can chase the byline. Back to Mbappe. Bordenelli. Cuts back to Hannibal on the edge of the box. He's got Amponza with him. 2 touches. Great ball for Luiz. He scored again. VAR will check again. It looked very close for the umpteenth time. But Magno Luiz is turning in the game of his life when it really matters. The goal is awarded. 2 for Luiz, 2 for United. What a decision that was to start him. And of course, after that, we get our next casualty. Yakubu has picked up an injury. Russell Thompson did his hamstring last game, so I don't want to bring him on. I'm going to bring Sancho on and we'll switch Luiz to the right. In fact, it was better the other way round, so we'll leave Luiz on the left. And then Gaia at right back is struggling a bit. Xavier Benjamin didn't have the heaviest match load, so he can have a run out at right back. Half an hour to go, 2-0 up. This should now be job done. Well, you've got to save your important players, so Selly and Boyut will get a rest for Santiago Casal, who didn't feature in the last game. And with 15 remaining, I think we're going to finish our time at United with a Club World Cup final in the next episode, as Mbappe puts the ball into Inacio, headed away as far as Benjamin. It's been a magnificent performance. You can see the difference in fitness, and PSG not got much more to give, but they do get a header from the corner, and Ansu Fati has got one back. And just like the Champions League final, we've got a very nervy finish, though there's a corner at the other end with Mbappe. Fofana, our former centre-half, wins the header. It's away as far as Casal. He cuts inside to Inacio, who's making his way back to Bassone. Support from Magno Luiz. He's on a hat-trick. He goes all the way. Mendes does really well with a last-ditch challenge. Here's Hannibal to Bordenelli. Back to Hannibal again, and Amponza finds Sancho. Lovely turn round his man. He's got fresh legs. He gets himself in. Donnarumma saves it. Mendes away to Gorn. 2 minutes for PSG to save themselves. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to do it as we're 93 minutes in and we're playing through the lines with Santiago Casal. He's got acres of space to run into. PSG have committed so many forwards. Fofana has wiped him out in the box. I know he got the ball in the end, but he went right through the man. That has got to be a penalty kick. Fofana's challenge is being judged by VAR and a penalty has been awarded. Last minute of stoppage time as wrap up a place in the final. Luiz on a hat-trick will take it. What a moment this could be for him. And it gives us one more episode here and a chance to become world champions. Magno Luiz v Gianluigi Donnarumma. It's a hat-trick. What a performance. What an unexpected hero. 94 minutes gone. United win the semi by 3-1. And there is the final whistle just seconds after. It was a brilliant performance and actually the result reflected the expected goals. Let's quickly see who we're going to be facing and then we'll be back for the final. Next time out, our final episode with Manchester United. Well, despite a sending off in the second half, Bayern beat Milan, but that means their best player, I think, will be suspended for the final. We've lost our best player because Yakubu's injured for the final. So it is going to be a showpiece event without some of the showpiece names. But that is going to be a very special day and a very special episode in my career. We're going to be playing for the chance to be world champions against Bayern. And then hours later, we should be accepting another job offer from Real Madrid. So it is going to be all change in the next episode. Let's hope we can go out with a bang. But we know how strong Bayern are. We've beaten them 5-0. We've lost 3-0 to them twice. Quite frankly, anything could happen. If you're looking forward to that showpiece event and seeing our job change in the next episode, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. It's not just here where things are getting exciting. We had a huge episode in the Hemel save yesterday. You can find that one up in the eye above. Please do check it out if you haven't seen it already. There's links up there too to the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the new merchandise store too. But I'll put yesterday's Hemel video above my head now and we'll be back for this one, the Club World Cup final, in 2 days' time.